Saludos, saludos, bendiciones, saludo, Maborica, Water Hub, everyone, all those great greetings. Salam alaikum, shalom, everything. I haven't done this in a while. It's come on to my YouTube page, but I'm gonna start doing that. You know what I'm saying? For you that have been hanging in there as subscribers, thank you very much. Let's spread it out, spread the page out, and hopefully I can get. I know that if you have any suggestions on content, anything you would like to hear from me, by all means, you know what I'm saying. If you're able to come online or just hit me a text, and I'll send you the link, and you get online, and we can have a dialogue and connect like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to do that at once. But I want to start it again. So I'm here sitting with my Tubano. I'm in North Carolina. Let's see if I can practice because I got little ones in the house, and when they hear the drums, they want to come out and participate. So let me practice, warm up a little. It's overcast, North Carolina, and it looked like it's gonna rain a lot more. You know what I'm saying? But it's been raining for the past couple of days, so I've been inside the house doing my schoolwork. As you know, I'm in school and the university, and just been doing that, and bonding with my grandkids and just laying back, just getting some R&R, relaxation, rest, relaxation, which, yeah, it's all I can do here right now. I do take my walks. Beautiful. North Carolina is beautiful. The weather is just amazing because it's not extremely hot like Tampa. I spend my time in Tampa and Orlando. It's just freaking hot. Over here, you have hot weather. You have all four seasons here in North Carolina, and the heat here is not so intense. Sometimes when the sun is out, you feel it on you. It's hot. It gets hot, but when you're on the shade, the humidity is not as intense as in North Carolina. I mean, in Orlando. I'm watching that way because my granddaughter wants to get up in here. And I do spend a lot of time with her, let me tell you, even when I practice. So these are double. And then you can do five stroke with acid. Nine stroke roll. Seven. That's five. Seven. It's got a ring to it because I don't have a key. I like to bring it up, the tone, and get it more tighter, but it's gonna have to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of practicing. Hey, listen, if you got a djembe, you got a drum, some drum, it's good. It's good practice. It's good to sit down and just how you feel. Listen to the pause. Yeah. First, you have to learn how to get the sound out of the drums. You know what I'm saying? You got the bass, you got the open tone, and you got the slap. So, but if you can't get the slap, you can always muffle it and hit it like that. My granddaughter. And then when she starts moving his hand around, and this is so just get used to the movements of the hands and stuff like that. But anyway, I've been doing a lot of and I don't call it spiritual because, as you know, I like to define words, and spirit to me is sprouting certain rituals. Okay, So that's where that comes in. So not only works that I do, a lot of the knowledge that I speak about are not actually spiritual work. They can lead to spiritual, because if you practice that and you harness that particular frequency or energy from that center, then there's certain rites of passage that you can obtain or that you can practice. Okay, those are spiritual. I'm more of etheric beings. Etheric means that's where all your ideas and concepts and it's the energy that flows. I'm more into the energy that flows. But now a lot of that energy could be taken and transformed into the spiritual, and a lot of that spiritual energy leads to actually physical practices. You know what I'm saying? So they all interrelated. Yes. Hi, Demo. They all interrelated. You know what I'm saying? Close the door, Papa. Close the door. Thank you. Because I don't want you. Oh, thank. Be careful. So that's more or less how you know I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? Of careful, yes, of careful of how you resonate and you definitions. Because I always said, man, person has to define what they're talking about, the words, because it can lead to many, many different perspectives. Because you have to respect everybody's perspective. I know that how they resonate. You have to respect it as long as it's beneficial and it doesn't in any way harm you or anybody around. So you respect that perspective. But a lot of times, we're not being truthful. We're not, a lot of times speaking where we're not defining certain concepts, certain words. We're not being clear on our communication. So it's very important. And I'm learning more and more, especially at the classes that I take in the university, taking physical science now, of the definitions and how important it is. So you deal with that definition. Now, I may have other definitions that I carry about physical science or quantum, right? But I have to put that to the side. I mean, acknowledge it, put it to the side, and see what definition is this professor relating to me. And because when I do the assignment, I have to stay logical, I have to stay within that boundary. So when you go to a church, you see people how they define God. You have to stay with that boundary. Now you can go out if you're willing to, and if it calls for someone honestly is looking for something different or want to enhance it, right? Then you very tactfully, what I'm saying, communicate certain things. But it's all good, what I'm saying. I let it be. I spend a lot of time in my youth, debating, a lot of times propagating and debating, and getting to those discussions with people. And looking now, I'm here now. Look at them. Even though some people may come back and say, "Oh man, you did say this once," and it kind of like helped me see something. It kind of helped me see something. So, and I appreciate that. So I had a lot of discussion with people. So, so you know, percussion. Let's talk about percussion. And as far as spiritual, yes, the drum is used a lot at rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? You go to certain practices and you have the drums there for certain, calls and chant and rituals. They're there, they're present, because drums sort of like hypnotize you. It puts you in a state where sometimes if you really fall into that drum, you're really caught up in that, in that world. They got the focus is there. You know what I'm saying? But it's used, and then you got the physical practice, which is at the so drums, which music to muse, pleasurable. Drum is an instrument that is, yes, it's all three. It's physical, it's spiritual because it's a rite of passage. When you play the drum, rite of passage. If to play no rumba, rites of passage, you got to know those rhythms. That's your rite of passage. Etheric ideas and concepts, because you're taking those ideas and concepts when you get to that point and you funnel it through your feeling and your practice, your habitat. You got to practice. You have to practice. That's important that you practice, because what practicing does, it allows you to get accustomed to movement So when you do have that idea and say, well, I'm playing, how do, yeah, I got an idea of going, I got to know there's a flam. See, hey, while I'm playing, the music is playing, I'm doing the solo. And sometimes, you let it flow. There is no bad soloing, there is no bad playing or anything. I don't believe in that. I just believe persons resonating at a certain point. Now, some people resonate at a very higher frequency that other people acknowledge because they practice. They're accustomed to knowing how to express those ideas and concepts, and the frequency is acknowledged. I spent time practicing a lot of rhythms that comes to me, I guess, genetically. So they're very familiar, similar, familiar, because of the DNA. They're very familiar with rhythms you find in Mali, in Ghana, rhythms you find in Cuba, in Puerto Rico. So the bomba rhythms and all that. Um, it's interesting because you get to recognize your style of who you are. What I'm saying, it's nice when you study other people's style because you had a lot of like Giovanni Hidalgo, a great percussionist, studied the style of Mongo, studied the style of Tataguine or Changuito. He studied those styles. You know what I'm saying, and enhance it more. I study a lot of Ray Barreto style, so enhance it more in Mongo Santa Maria. And now with Giovanni, with his rudimentary, the rudiments that he does, and the way he expresses himself has helped me a lot, in gaining my style, my momentum. Also, playing with people like Ito Colon is one percussionist that I like playing with because he's him. He's who he is, and you hear him, and you know that's Ito playing, and he has that kind of marching persona, which is very great. I love marching bands and marching rudiments and persona. That's great stuff. And I listen a lot also to guys like, I consider Gary Williams to be a percussionist. Great. He does a lot of marching stuff and he does a lot of rudiments and extraordinary, extraordinary. I listen to a lot of drummers. Again, Giovanni, Ray Barreto, Mongo Santa Maria, Tataguines. Man, Changuito, I started listening to, introduced by Giovanni Changuito, because, and also through Bambang, is that songo. Wow, I love. I try to do it in one drum. Songos play with two drums, but it's have more of a funky style, Yeah. And that's with one drum. So imagine with two drums. Yeah, 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 and it's danceable. I kind of like. I'm big on that. If you're gonna play rhythm, even a solo, make sure that it's danceable. People could follow it. It's called piquete in Puerto Rico. Make sure that the steps. So I love to dance. I love dancing. So I have those steps. And then, of course, about the funk stuff. Um, um, studying funky players like Henry, from Curtis Mayfield, and also Ralph McDonald. Ralph McDonald was a calypso type of percussionist, and he had his style Don Elias. Oh my, such a classy soloing, such a class, because that's the expression. So I study a lot of that. Stevie Wonder, great percussionist, and I listen to even Stevie Wonder play percussion. So when you get to know these styles, which being fortunate, being raised in the Bronx and being in a household where we listen to salsa, dance salsa, and we listen to funk music, I got introduced to Kool and the Gang. So that was my funk introduction, was Kool and the Gang, Hollywood swinging and jungle boogie, stuff like that. Then came BT Express. Wow, the percussion is there, which is named, I think, Carlo. The brothers are Mandrill, from Panama, and the style was just unbelievable. So you expose to all these styles. You know what I'm saying? And then being raised in the Bronx in New York, you got the boogaloo. And that Ray Barretto, Eddie Palmieri. Boogaloo became a style that was a mixture of R&B with the Latin percussion. You know, so and you see that with Marvin Gaye. That's a different style. You know, that's a way different style, and it can be played very tactfully, and you can even use it when you're playing. Use that even in rumba. You soloing, bang, bang. It could fit. It could fit. I'm telling you, it done it because I've done it before, and it fit. You know, song is a musical expression is there. You know, other style. I got it when I was working at Universal with Tobos Lubamba. Great style, man. That's from the Congo, Tobo, Casa, and guys like that. You know, and I mean Papa and playing the djembe, and we all jammed out. I was usually on congas because I always had right? Conga when they did that and always mixed in very well with them. You know what I'm saying? Even the 6/8 stuff. But I started listening a lot, and Tobos pulled me to the side and said, "Look, this is a chachu. Look, this is how we play aguabanco in the 6/8 version. This is how we do our thing." You know what I'm saying? And that only brought that enhanced my playing very much because now I understand clave 6/8 clave and then the 4/4 mixed in. I understand how different style you could play the rumba, the guabanco. So I love the chachu stuff. And with one kong, he showed me that with one tam tam too. And the upper, and, right, and that, and right. Let's go from Kong. And you see this in rumba, you see it around in many different forms. So that helped me a lot. And then of course, yeah, the independency that I got from Tobo helped me a lot because now I started to practice my left hand, right? And the rumba. You hear that at rumba. Well, you feel it fit. You know, and one of the videos with Gary, it was a very strange type of clave, almost called Punta Mayo. And I started just saying, well, I'm going to play the part that's missing there where it's very across the board in many different styles. And then I started going, but keeping with the rhythm, with the clave. It worked perfectly. Because they were going, uh, 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 uh. That's what I was playing. But then I said, and then you use your rumba introduction. You know, and it's all again. You can't overthink a lot of that stuff because I'm telling you, when you're playing, a lot of that stuff you can't overthink. You play because you enjoy it. You do things that you do in life because you find a love in it and you enjoy it. You have a relationship with it, and the thing is, you find that you find what moves you, your motivation. It's like acting. Acting is the same way. I've been studying a little acting. It's the same way. Who are you? What's your true self? Who are you, and how do you 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 resonate that? You know what I'm saying? And being truthful, because a lot of times, then you may have a character grid. They have written the way how the character should be, but a lot of times that can be changed because the actor brings another element and molds this character to their character, and they don't become the character. The character becomes part of them now, but their experience in life now overrides all that. You know what I'm saying? The experience that actor has and how they true feelings of how they feel. Like you can be in a scene with a spouse, and your guys are having an argument, but the thing that they don't notice is the argument. You're thinking, oh yeah, they hate each other, right? But then there's really, on the other side, there's a love there. When the actor explore that love, now he has more to work with, a more dimension of feelings to work with. You know what I'm saying? And then the scene becomes that dramatic because it goes conflict, is back and forth, it's conflict, and this is what resonates. Damn it. I'm starting to also listen to a lot of Brazilian stuff because I love that, and it's all similar. There's really similar. You have to find, like again, it's like acting. You have certain rhythms, but you got to express yourself within those rhythms. And rumba is the same way. You know what I'm saying? You have your basic, right? Right? You have your basics. Now, express yourself, right? Yeah, there's things you can do without stepping all over the quinto, because the quinto is going to be on top, on top, doing his thing, that's on top, and putting making a musical gesture, putting it all together. And then the bass too is going to have its, right, and get back, because he's feeling what the other guy's doing, and they're doing, they in that place, but they're doing this expression while the quinto is on top. And it forms beautifully, and it's like that with all the rhythms too. Even with the bomba rhythms, you get the bomba rhythms, but you always got that primero, the one that does the piquete, the primero with the dancer, and on top, what I'm saying, on top of that, what I'm saying, and it forms beautifully, 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 beautifully. Rhythm is very interesting. Again, it deals with um, well, just according to this type of science, it deals with your feelings and your habitat. It forms feelings and habitat. It's how you feel in habitat, and it's at the lower, the root culture. Family culture. It's at the root. When you deal with percussion, it's a root type of instrument. I notice that when I play and I put the congas towards the ground, if I put it towards a ground, a dirt ground, right? And I play, I feel the energy more powerful. And when I got the conga suspended like that, I can still feel the energy, but it's not as intense as if I'm playing with that on the ground. And I've done that at Universal. I've played with stands, but when I put it on the ground, man, it's totally, totally different feeling. Because now the connection, the vibe. Well, you got to be very sensitive to frequency too. But it's interesting also how you know relationship that you have with music, and relationship that you have with, with your with people. A lot of time music, because the muse um affects that. It does affect in ways, because you listen people listen to a certain type of music, they seem to take on a character. They dress a certain way. They start even speaking a certain way. They start being in frequency mad. They start seeking out people who are like them. You see that a lot. You know what I'm saying? It affects so how your music. So that's important. But if you're a musician and you resonate with a certain instrument, it's powerful because you're able to relate to everybody. Because I can go to a rock band and play. I can go to a jazz band and play classical music and play percussion. Everywhere fit. You know what I'm saying? Any genre of music. Even the trap music they're doing now, or the plug music they call them. I've done stuff like that. Bounce beats and all stuff like that. Because that's relating. You know, that's what I want to say. But yeah, you gotta watch the music also that you resonate. That you involve yourself with. That's a rule, and you gotta definitely be aware of all that type of music. Yes, I mean, you have to be definitely aware of all that music because they have frequencies, messages, and frequencies and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you really, really have to. I try not to listen to too much music. To be honest with you, I don't. I don't. If I listen to music, I feel a certain way, and I go back into my childhood music. Sometimes I listen to some jazz. I like a lot of jazz and salsa. I've been listening to a lot of salsa because I've been doing work with Omilasa, and that's a Afro Cuban sort of like Afro Cuban New York style of music playing. It's very very interesting, and I love it. So you got to look at that project. I'm just experimenting right now. I'm getting, I gotta do some shedding, go in there and shed and get because man, I've been watching a lot of these timbaleros and congueros. You got a lot of great techniques, and you got a lot of awesome talent out there. So I just love that expression. So I myself, I got to keep up with that, and not only keep up with it, but I have to say, well, listen, let me bring a little bit of my expression into this. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring a little me into this, and then go for it. A lot of independency, man. A lot of guys are independent. And a lot of his rudiments. Yeah, I'm righty, but I'm trying to get the left going too because you have to. We were all learning. We're all learning. We're all perfecting our crafts. Always remember, anybody that tells you, "Oh, that person perfected the craft," with it, no, it's a lie. It's a lie. Even somebody like Tito Puente would have told you that. All great, even piano player, like they'll tell you, "Wow, there's so much to explore." Giovanni Dago will tell you, "Man, when I did the interview with him, yeah, percussion is infinite. Well, it's just immense. It's no way you can fathom. It's like when you can look at space. You know what I'm saying? And you know that this is eternal time. You know that there's this sense of eternity. The same thing with percussion. It's always there comes one that comes along and starts revealing certain, expressions. You'll be like, wow. So, practicing the rudiments and stuff like that. So, what I was gonna say about, yeah. So, and a lot of it, that I speak about in terms of the energy center has a lot to do with my experiences is one, and also the way I experience things again is again I've learned to to know who you are, and I know who I am. I know what I like. I know a lot about myself. You know what I'm saying? But there's more to explore. Always remember that the self is embody everything around you. It's expanding. So you're always gonna learn more. But as of now, oh hell yeah. the first things I learned, I tell you, was the tumbao. Yeah, from Arsenio Rodriguez. First thing I learned, and I think every conguero does that. I talked to Giovanni. First thing he learned was the tanza and the timbales, the tanza beat. You know what I'm saying? But then yeah, then you got every percussion got. I don't know that. And now they're doing a lot of. Yeah, many different variation of the tumbao. You got the guys from the Gran Combo. My team played a different way. You got many different styles. Mongo was that open hand. That open. Ray Barreto had a great pasacote. And I always learn how to use a bass. You hear the bass? Now I don't hear a lot of people playing with the bass involved. I hear a lot. I hear a lot of this going on. So I use the bow. Is it? I have a variation. Yeah, that's different. That's different. That's me. That's different. But you know, sometimes you gotta go traditional. That's a beautiful tumbao masacote that who was that? That's this guy Eddie Montalvo. I think did that right. I think he did that. He got that shit down pat. And also staying consistent in the rhythm. That's what makes certain percussion is different than others. Is that some you could count on them being the counter. I got a lot of praise by bass players because I always listen to the bass players. I got a lot of praise by bass players. I always like to bring in. I listen to the bass and I always kind of compliment what the bass is doing. Boom 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 boom. You know, I always compliment the bass, always, and lock in like that, and I get a lot of compliments on that. You know, and you know, it's just sharing with you how I'm thinking when I'm thinking about percussion, and then as far as the teaching, or not, I would say the teachings, the resonating of the energy centers, because I think that's important because we're so bombarded by a lot of energy around us. So we have, you know, it's a matter of being focused and recognizing things and knowing how to put things in order. In order. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. Now I speak a lot about this, but I'm documenting it, and I do have to relearn and teach myself a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it's like, wow, you talk about your feelings, talk about your experience, but then you know I kind of be a therapist to myself. I don't have another person saying, so you feeling like that, or what are you learning? Why, you know, have you tried this, or do you feel like this, or you know, give these concept therapy, try to rape your mind and shit. But I don't have that. I do that to myself. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I view certain things. So I'm just here hanging out, y'all. I'm just here hanging out. This Tubano needs to be tightened up, but anyway, I'm gonna end it here, and with all that, man, all investments to everyone, man. One person just dropped in, probably the same person. So I just what, love you. Oh, don't touch. something here. Let's see. You know, I'm gonna learn some songs so I can at least sing along and stuff like that. They got some great content out there, man. I've been watching TikTok. I gotta cut it out because they're starting to get a little. Turn off that light. Turn off that light. I think it's starting to get a little edgy over here. Anyway, with all that being said, all in blessings, man. Love you all. Peace. Yes.